HEG Limited is a classic case of how China remotely influences every industry connected with steel. The share price of HEG moved from 471 to 4,291, almost 10 times over a period of 20 months. And with the equal speed, it fell down to 555 by 20th March. All happened within a period of 36 months, 20 months of going up and 16 months of crash. But subsequently, progress has been positive, moving along with the steel industry. Prices have been quite decent, and now it has fallen to 1,296 as in the middle of February 2022. China is strategically placed in the global steel industry. A slight shift in its steel sector can have an imbalance globally because it has got 50% of global steel under its production. But its weakness is it uses a blast furnace route for 95% of its steel, which is not environment friendly. With the global pressure mounting up, China started moving into electric arc furnace EAF in 2017, and that was a slight shift, which was the reason for a great global imbalance. Graphite electrode was used under EAF route for manufacture of steel. But as China was dominating in producing under blast furnace route, the capacities for manufacture of graphite electrode suffered and they had heavily shuttered capacities. They had problems of cyclical steel demand and volatility in input costs. Because of the gradual closure of capacities, the number of manufacturers of graphite electrode in the world was reduced to a few, and two of the manufacturers were from India and one of them was HEG. 2017 was quite extraordinary. Starting from June 2017, prices went up and EBITDA percentage reached a high of 73.6%. Turnover went up and it continued till December 2018, and 70% plus EBITDA percentage persisted. But then came 2019 when the prices fell. COVID had a disaster. Company went into cash loss, and only in 2021 it started recovering, and the recovery was quite pronounced only during the recent 3 quarters of FY22. The reason behind all this was for over 2 years, the manufacturers of steel overbought the graphite electrodes and pushed up the prices almost 10 times. It all began in 2017-18 when there was a drop in the Chinese steel and West had to start manufacture of extra steel under EAF, and they stepped up inventories to sustain operations and went on buying spree in respect of graphite electrodes and took the price up. By the time China came back, started supplying steel, and the world collapsed on EAF steel majors. For HEG, the years March 2018 and March 2019 were years of dream come true. Realization from 2 lakhs it went up to 9 lakhs per ton, and EBITDA moved from 16,000 to 6.5 lakhs per ton. Capacity utilization went up to 90%, taking 72,000 tons per annum. All was going fine, but by the time it came to 2021, it was back to square one. And the 2 years stand out, FY18 and FY19, for highest EBITDA, highest realization per ton, and also highest capacity utilization. What went wrong? Volume and realization in respect of graphite electrodes dropped in 2019 because India removed anti-dumping duties on graphite electrodes and China came into the market with its products, and imported steel also was flooded in the global market. As a result, steel manufacturers reduced their output and their requirement for graphite electrodes was also brought down, and in all it was too heavy on companies like HEG, who lost out and moved into cash loss. HEG's cash flow says it all very clearly, loudly, be it operational cash flow or building up or liquidation of current assets. Dividend payment over 3 years, not abnormal, but quite attractive dividend. Net surplus, quite sizable year on year. Fixed assets because of the expansion of 20,000 TPA opening in 2023. And there was a buyback involving 750 crores. 18 and 19, generation of almost 4,200 crores, but half of it was invested in receivables and inventories. In respect of inventories, the tragedy was inventory was bought at high cost and it was liquidated in subsequent years when the prices were very low. It was against the norm and the company ended up buying high and selling low and made heavy losses in the process. I am Vittal Prabhu, bringing you the weekly video on Stock Learning Simplified. Hope you will find the video useful and interesting. HEG Limited was initially started in 1972 as Hindustan Graphite. It manufactures ultra high power electrodes and it is one of the world's largest integrated graphite electrode plant located in Madhya Pradesh. Its product graphite electrode is used in electric arc furnace system of steel making where steel scrap is melted using the graphite electrodes. HEG is known worldwide. It exports almost 70% of its products. In FY19, it even went up to 75% of its total production. Recent years, it has come down and the current rate is 62%. The company is going for expansion, adding 20,000 tons per annum capacity to its existing 80,000 tons per annum. HEG's promoters are known for their reputation. Although there has been a small reduction in the promoters holding by 4.5% in September 2021, it is more than compensated by the confidence shown by the FPIs in raising their share from 7% to 13.4% over successive quarters. That way, a company of strong shareholding. The silver lining is global GDP is set to grow as per estimates of IMF by 3% in 2022. GDP growth is always linked to steel growth, and when steel growth is positive, graphite electrodes which follow steel growth also get a lot of benefit. The lithium ion batteries which are using graphite electrodes in the process of manufacture are going to raise further demand for graphite electrodes. But the negative side is EAF capacity changeover in China is taking time. It is already full with inventory of graphite electrodes. If and when it offloads that inventory on the global market, trouble will be there for existing players who manufacture graphite electrodes like HEG, and that is a matter of great concern. Market price movement is indicating positivity with scope for bottoming out. The steel prices in the market, be it Jindal Steel and Power, Jindal Steel, Tata Iron Steel or SAIL, particularly after December, the prices appear to be positively inclined. Only concern is HEGL's price, instead of moving along with steel, has developed a divergence, particularly from the middle of January. If we take the price action data, average price over last 3 months has shown a decline, but that decline is not supported by quantity. Incidentally, quantity also has fallen by 15% during the same period. When both price and quantity fall and move in one direction, that is indicating a probability of reversal in the very near future. That was the presentation on HEG, a global player with the strong financials, although faced with a bit of risk and volatility. Hope you liked the presentation. You can access similar presentation with rich content at our info card on Stock Learning Simplified. We look forward to your likes, shares and comments. If you are new to the channel, may please subscribe and press the bell icon for timely intimation on our forthcoming videos. Thank you so much for your support, interest and valuable time. This video is for purposes of information, education and awareness only. This is not meant to be a solicitation or recommendation to buy, sell or hold securities. Wherever applicable, seek the advice of a competent professional before taking action of any kind.